ahead in the chapter that is control and coordination. Now we have seen growth independent movement in Mimosa pudica. Let us understand some more examples of growth independent movement. We have seen lotus. Lotus blooms in the morning. That is, we know that is the main timing for the flower of lotus to bloom is around 4 a.m. in the morning. Even the Brahma Kamal, what we say, that is, it blooms in the Brahma Muhurat. Okay, so here you can say that the stimulus for the lotus to bloom is light. So stimulus is light. So in response to this stimulus, the lotus opens in the morning. Whereas tuberose, which is also called as Ratrani, this tuberose is blooming during the night time. So here you will say the stimulus, you cannot say the stimulus is moonlight, whereas the stimulus here is absence of sunlight. So in the absence of light, the tuberose blooms at night. Whereas there's another plant called as Drosera, which is called as an insectivorous plant. The stimulus here is touch of an insect. In response to this insectivorous plants like Drosera, they curl inwards to trap the insect. That means as soon as the insect lands on this plant, they will curl and it starts secreting enzymes and it kills the insects and eats the insect. So this is the way in which Drosera derives its nourishment. So it's also called as insect eating plant. Next is Venus flytrap. Okay, it looks and smells like a flower to the insect. Now here there are tentacles you can see which shuts and traps the insect. So stimulus here is touch of an insect. As soon as the insect lands on the flower, that is Venus flytrap, the trigger hairs, okay, the hairs which are closing, they are called as the trigger hair. So as soon as the insect touches the trigger hair, they shut open. Then it has enzymes in it which again kills and digests the insect. Once the nourishment is taken, it will open and then the insect drops down. Okay, so in response, the Venus flytrap, it derives its nourishment by shutting and digesting the insect inside it when it is the Next is the fruit of balsam. Balsam fruit is also called as the explosive fruit. Okay, what happens here is when the wind blows, okay, because of which this fruit, it explodes, it bursts, okay, and it scatters its seeds. So stimulus here is touch of the ground. As soon as the fruit falls on the ground, the seeds, they get scattered. So it is called as the explosive fruit of balsam. So now, after understanding the growth independent movement, let us study some growth dependent movement. What is growth dependent movement? Movement or growth of any part of plant in response to stimulus is called as growth dependent movement or tropism. That is, any part of plant, if you see it is growing in response to some external change, that is called as tropism or growth dependent movement. Okay, so who shows growth dependent movement? It is a movement in a seedling which is always a growth dependent. So if you put a seedling on ground, you can see the roots growing towards the ground and the shoot moving away from the ground. Similarly, the plant shows four types of tropism or four types of movement. Let us understand them one by one. The first one is phototropism. Okay, phototropism means photo means light and tropism means movement. So movement which is brought about by light. Okay. Next is chemotropism. Chemo means chemical. Tropism means movement. So movement which is towards the chemical or because of chemical. Next is gravitropism. Gravi means gravity and tropism means movement. Movement towards gravity. And last is hydrotropism. Hydro means water and tropism means movement. So movement in response to water. So we have studied four types of movement or four types of tropism: phototropism, chemotropism, gravitropism, hydrotropism. Okay, you can remember this as photo, chemo, gravi, hydro. Photo, chemo, gravi, hydro. Now let us see phototropism. Now here you can see the plant which is growing. Okay, the roots are growing towards the ground and the stem is growing towards the, it is growing above the ground. Okay, the shoot, stem is also called as shoot. The shoot of any plant always responds to the stimulus of light. That is, we have always seen that if we keep a potted plant near our window, even the stem bends towards the light, it bends outside the window. Okay, so that is, it grows in the direction of source of light. This movement which is shown or which is exhibited by the plant is called as phototropic movement in response to light. So let us see how does this happen. Let us magnify the upper end of the stem and understand what happens inside the stem. Now this is the structure of a stem. At the tip of stem there is a hormone which is called as auxin. This auxin is always present at the tip of root and tip of shoot. Okay, so this is the tip of shoot and we know there is the presence of auxin. Now what happens is when the plant is placed, or as you can see the stem is there and then there is a stimulus of sunlight, what will happen to auxin is auxin will diffuse. It is very sensitive to light. Okay, so what will happen, it will diffuse from the sunny side to the shady side, that is from the source from where it is getting light to the other side. As the unidirectional sunlight falls on the sunny side, that is the light coming from only one direction, that is the plant which is facing towards the light, that will get more of sunlight and the other side will be in the shade or it will get less sunlight. So what happens is here the sunny side, that is the plant facing towards the light, there is more presence of auxin and this auxin is sensitive to light. So what will happen, the auxin will diffuse from the sunny side to the shady side, that is it will move on to the other side from a higher concentration to a lower concentration. This is what is diffusion, we have learned. Okay, so auxin will cause this cells of the stem to elongate. The other side on which there is more auxin, now those cells will get elongated, they will increase their length, and because of this elongation what will happen, it will cause a difference in the length of both the sides. The side on which auxin has diffused, that side will become little bigger than the other side, so because of which the stem will bend towards the light. This results in bending of stem towards the light. Now we are going to study the other type of movement which is called as the gravitropism. The root system of plants, they always respond towards gravity. We have always seen that the roots, they always move towards the ground, that is towards the gravity. So this stimulus of gravity which is allowing the root to grow towards it, it's called as gravitropism, towards gravity. Next is hydrotropism. In hydrotropism, what happens? The root system of plants, they respond to the stimulus of water. They always move in search of water. Now we are going to see chemotropism. In chemotropism, the movement is in response to certain chemicals. Okay, so what happens is as soon as the pollen grain it lands on the stigma, the pollen grain contains male gamete, and this male gamete has reached to the female gamete. Okay, that is the ovary. Inside the ovary, there are ovules which are present. You are going to study all this in detail when you study sexual reproduction in plants. Okay, so because of this pollen grain, the ovules, they start secreting a chemical. So when the ovules start secreting a chemical, a pollen tube is formed. Because of this pollen tube, the male gamete can easily reach the female gamete. Okay, that is, the growth of pollen tube towards the ovule will help in movement of the male gamete towards the female. This is because of the chemical which was secreted. So this response or this movement of pollen tube in response to chemical is what is termed as chemotropism.